Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Long time no see or talk or hear. Hope everybody's had a wonderful week. I'm going to hand it over to Sarah now.
And I was telling Sarah, I was like, Sarah, what's the video about? Because I'm usually one to tell Sarah what the video is about. And I said, it's about England losing and about the United States losing. And then Sarah said,
well, we lost. That's the end of the video. We're losing across everything.
And I said, no, that's not the end of the video. But that is going to kind of be what the video is about. We're going to touch on a few things. So that's what we're going to do. Timestamps down below, because there might be a few other things we wanted to touch on this video, but this is going to kind of us getting our feet wet again, jumping back into the water, shall we say?
We shall.
Because since we talked last, there's been a big international break. United States, big loss against Brazil. England, big loss against Belgium. Those were two of the big major stories. Brazil take down USA 2-1. And yes, it is a friendly, but I saw some comments saying there's nothing friendly when someone, when you win or you lose. It's as much as they're deemed friendlies, they're not really friendly.
Oh, yeah, more like enemies.
But that was the big score, 2-1. And I mean, it started out really, we're not really going to go over the game. It happened like literally 3 years ago at this point. But in the first minute, Cat Macario, within 25 seconds, Cat Macario scored in that game. And I thought, oh my God, we're winning. It's going to go great. We didn't win. But rightfully so. I think a lot of people thought Brazil rightfully won that match. They were playing hard. Now, the big thing about the match, though, a lot of young players, Claire Hutton, young players. I mean, that was kind of the overall feeling. This is actually what Emma had to say. This is just kind of about the feeling of the game and how young the players were.
We mustn't always measure progress by outcome. That was the youngest capped U.S. women's national team in 24 years. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah.
So what a great experience for them to go into the game, which you get to feel the pressure of playing a really, really difficult opponent.
Also, players like Michelle Cooper and Avery Patterson got their first start. Well, I guess going back for a second, there was two games. The first game against Brazil, United States did win. It was 2-0 against Brazil. I mean, I guess United States losing was the big story, but they won that game. And in that game, Avery Patterson did get her first cap. But someone who also got her first cap, and we're going to talk about in a second, this really doesn't relate to the second game, but for the first game, Phallon Tellus-Joyce isn't necessarily a younger player because she's 28. She had her first cap at goal, which was very exciting. We're going to talk about Phallon in a second because she came up huge for Man United today. That's a separate story, but some people are saying after this Brazil versus United States game, perhaps Phallon is the new number one. After this one game, she might have she is giving first keeper energy. People are saying Phallon Tellus-Joyce is at 28 is I don't want to say the future, but she had her first cap. So that was one takeaway. We're going to talk about her in a second. But yeah, U.S. Women's National Team coach Emma Hayes prioritizing progress after Brazil loss. So I don't know. It was a friendly. Obviously, there's no major tournament for the United States until the World Cup. So it's like, I think we're going to read some comments, and one of the comments said, "Oh, the experimentation is over because you don't want to lose too many. You don't want to. You want to see what you like.
You don't want to pull Vlatko. Sorry, Vlatko."
And I also saw some comments. I don't think I screen capped them, but it kind of said, "No Trinity Rodman in this game, and we have a problem scoring. Without triple espresso, scoring has been an issue." But then people also said, even with triple espresso, scoring has also been tough. So do they need to find some more dedicated goal scorers? Is that part of Emma's plan? Because they weren't as plentiful. They haven't been as plentiful as maybe years past? ? I don't know. But I think we're going to read some comments. Someone goes,
I think the experimenting thing might be drawing to a close.
Yeah, and even Emma's comment right here, she says,
Emma Hayes admitted that Tuesday's 2-1 loss to Brazil sucks, but she said she now has a clearer vision of what players are long-term solutions and that we mustn't always measure progress by outcome.
So yeah, young team, young squad. the next, if they're building to the World Cup, they still have a long time realistically, because no major tournaments for the United States until then. The defense is lost without Girma and Davidson. Oh, and that's another thing. Tierna Davidson did her ACL. I lost for words almost when we saw that happen.
Second time.
Yeah.
Freaking hurts.
Yeah. I honestly,
I feel so bad.
I couldn't believe it. It feels so bad. So bad. Almost no words. And then someone right here says, Phallon's going to be our new number one. No more Cook. Oh, Phallon's going to be our new number one. People are...
Sorry, I had to clap
yeah.
because... Woo!
That was one of the takeaways I thought was the best. Like, she was given the opportunity first cap. She really brought it, and I was so pumped for her. And then someone says, I totally get Emma's strategy, but man, it hurts to see Fox on the bench the whole game. And someone says right here, Phallon Tellus-Joyce is the best goalkeeper in the world right now. I think they were talking more about the Man United game that we're going to get to. I'm just so pumped about that. But what did everyone think? We go from one loss to another. Actually, England lost first, but England had a loss. And I don't want to say it's concerning, but we talk about United States. They don't have any major tournaments coming. England, on the other hand, does. I've even had people tell me for the European players, the Euros are more important to them than the World Cup. I've heard people tell me that. And I believe it. I mean, when you want to be the pride of Europe, you want to be the pride of your continent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to represent. You got to show up and represent.
Yeah. And England had a huge loss against Belgium. And it did not start well. First half was kind of a disaster for England. This was an important match. These are the UEFA Nations League. So not only are these important gearing up for the World Cup, this is a tournament England wants to win. And if you look at the way the tournament is structured,
the 4 League A group winners will meet in two-legged semifinals. The winners go to the final to decide who takes the Nations League title, while the losers go to a third place playoff.
And England and Spain are both in the same group. So, having a loss like that's major. You want to win this. You want to win this competition, and you want that momentum going into the Euros. Now, but there are so many people injured, not fully healed from injuries, or just recently picked up an injury in the first game of the international break. They weren't full strength, and it's hard because you think, okay, the lead up to the Euros in 2022, I guess it was, they were winning everything. The English girls were winning everything. They had the same lineup going into every game. It's just a lot different this year, and a lot of that is because of injuries. But one amazing bright spot is that a young player, I believe how you pronounce it, her name's Michelle Agemang, comes in 42 seconds, first cap ever, 19 years old, scores a freaking goal. It was beautiful. I was so pumped to see that for her, for the team. She got them back into the game. They didn't win or anything, but 19 years old, first cap, 40 seconds. There is positives, Also, people were not liking the way Belgium were playing, that they were being time wasting and stuff. And there was a funny part I caught some of the game where Aggie Beaver-Jones was stealing notes from the Belgian player. I love when that happens.
Classic move.
Because at the Euros, I believe it was the Euros, I forget who, they were stealing the German notes. They were I think it was Alessia Russo. She was looking at the German notes, and everyone's joke was, does Alessia know German? Because I'm sure they're in German.
That could start worse.
So that was kind of funny. So, are English fans worried about the Euros? Are English fans worried? Someone goes, can't believe she's only 19. So mature on and off the pitch. Yeah, she was interviewed after, and she was just saying how the girls helped her. She obviously knows some of the faces, but it's always hard when you're young and you go in there and you want to prove yourself, because sometimes you're given one shot and you don't impress. You might take a while to get called back up. I don't know. And then some people are still saying they like Hannah Hampton, but there are Mary stands out there. Mary, I don't know what her fans are called, but people.
Oh, the Erpers.
Is that it? Or the Merpers, Mary Erpers, that they call her MERPs, and the Merpers.
Oh, Merpelurps.
Yeah.
Merps.
And then some people say should have played Mary. Serena got to stop with the favorites and change things around. Take notes from Emma. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Do you think Mary would have stopped those goals? Maybe, maybe not. Then someone has a comment like this.
I honestly think the players went into this game not taking it seriously after the last result. While this competition allows experimentation, the setup didn't work. What I've understood so far. Can England compete with the best? Yes. Are they consistent in their performance and setups? No. Not yet, anyway. This will hopefully bring a few players back to earth regarding the reality of who deserves to start.
Yeah, I mean, that's with all the injuries and people being called up. We will see what Serena decides to do. And then someone even says, I think we're missing, because in this game, Georgia Stanway still wasn't playing, Russo and Chloe Kelly were not playing, and then also Lauren James. But I think there was some good takeaways. So what does everyone think? Are English fans worried about the Euros?
Yeah, we are.
Because I can't imagine right now, England can't lose to Spain at another tournament. In my head, England can't lose to Spain at another major tournament. I mean, yes, they can, but I think anyone but Spain.
I can't see Lucy go through it. I cannot. I can't take it.
I know.
That hurts.
I know. Exactly. It will be hard. So that was the international break. A lot of other exciting things happened. Those are the two games we kind of focus on. The Nations League, a lot happening there. But those two big losses were kind of the story of the international break, at least for at least for a lot of people. But moving on to the FA Cup, that's what happened this last weekend. Big storyline here. Liverpool played Chelsea in the semifinal. Predictably, I think most people predicted this, but Chelsea beat Liverpool in the semifinal to move on to the final. I'll read this headline.
Chelsea women keep historic quadruple hopes alive with late FA Cup semi-final win versus Liverpool.
Yeah, they are looking for the quadruple trophies. I think most people predicted they would beat Liverpool. Liverpool actually played well. I didn't really watch any of this game, but Liverpool actually played well. And that's kind of hard. You play well and you still lose, but it's to Chelsea. But Liverpool did play well.
Chelsea have kept their hopes of a historic quadruple alive thanks to England international Aggie Beever-Jones' stoppage time winner against Liverpool in Saturday's women's FA Cup semifinal.
Yeah, so Aggie Beever-Jones got the winning goal. But most people I think predicted that was going to happen. But we'll see if they can. Champions League is the big thing that I wonder if they would cash in 3 trophies for that trophy. You get what I'm saying? I'll give you back 3 trophies if we can win Champions League. I'm sure maybe they probably would. But it doesn't quite work that way. But the other big game was Man City versus Man United in the semifinal. And that was kind of heartbreaking to see because Man City, I saw a graphic of all their injured players. They have really been going through it. They had the international breaks. Some picked up some injuries. They weren't at their best. But it was a tough game for Man City. The final score was 2-0 Man United. Actually, Mary Fowler even got hurt in this game. And I don't have an update on her, but they say all the international play, everything. Wears these players down. The second goal, I was just watching the highlights, and the commentator he said something like, terrible defending Man City. So it was a tough game for Man City. But United looked really good. I thought United looked more capable of beating Chelsea right now with injuries and everything. So they're going to give Chelsea a run for their money. But I don't want to say the big story. The big story for you and I, because I know you're a big Phallon Tellus-Joyce fan. She had this save of the century. I don't even know what it's called. Hasegawa goes for a free kick, and it's like a double save.
Oh my gosh, a double frickin' save. Only Phallon could do that.
That save, and she had another save against Carolyn, had a shot as well. I mean, this is Phallon Tellus-Joyce's, this is her week. This is her month. To get her first cap at 28 years old and to be playing the way she is and getting all the the kudos. I don't even know, to see her, and her passion for the sea life. I mean, it's very inspiring.
You know, it's just Phallon's ocean, and we're just swimming in it.
I like that play on words.
You like that? Love it. I love it.
Her videos on her YouTube are so cute. She it's like she's talking. Oh, on her Instagram are so cute. She's like talking like she's just so passionate, and I don't know. I'm just so excited for her.
Yes, I've learned a lot from her. She's my marine biologist icon.
Yes. So pumped for her. And then people are saying the idea of like she's the best goalkeeper in the world right now. I mean, I'm not going to, from what she did at the international break and then what she just did for Man United, this is her month. This is her week. This is her
era.
And then talking, City fans, they know that their team, there was this point before Gareth Taylor left. It's Gareth Taylor. He's not putting the best performance out. But then people are just saying, I'll have Sara read this comment, but
need to seriously invest in squad depth in the summer at this point. It's just painful to watch. The squad is dropping like flies because they have no rest.
They need depth so they can rest their players. It's just hard to see. It's a shame your performance wasn't good today. The back line is very worrying.
Yep, we've got the worst injury crisis I've ever known, but I think we've seen enough now that Cushing isn't the answer. The players looked bereft of any confidence or direction today.
Yeah, and it just sucks. For City fans, I feel bad. United fans definitely very excited. Someone says that was a very good performance, technically spot on. Phallon is incredible. Now they get to go to Wembley. The final's going to be at Wembley. We're coming for you at Wembley. Then someone goes, we're winning this cup. I think United fans are very confident that they can go on there and kind of be the spoiler. Chelsea isn't playing amazingly, and they barely won against Liverpool.
Even the sea creatures are rooting for Phallon and, United.
Exactly. And then someone goes, so happy to finally see Tooney and Clinton start together and both play great. Excellent performance from the team overall. Could have easily scored 4 or 5 goals. So pumped for them. But yeah, what does everyone think? FA Cup, we had the international break. USA loses. Some people still want to say it doesn't matter if it's a friendly. It doesn't matter that the team had such a young group. A loss is still a loss, and that's major for the United States. I didn't even mention this. This was the first rematch against USA versus Brazil since the Olympic gold medal. And then also England fans, I think all the pieces are going to come together at the same time for England. I really do. But is it a little bit worrying with the injuries, with Serena's decision making? Some people would say yes. Also, going to WSL, the Women's FA Cup. I'm very excited. Pumped for Man United. I could see Man United winning this. I really could. Yeah. Especially because Chelsea have a lot to think about, because not only are they thinking about that, obviously Champions League is going on, and that's going to actually be the next big test for Chelsea and Arsenal coming up pretty soon too. So next week Arsenal's going to face Lyon, and then Chelsea's going to face Barcelona. So a lot going on. What does everyone think? Question, comments down below. There's a couple other stories we're going to get to on next video, and we will talk to everyone soon. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.